Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2 and test. Okay. All right, so let's get to it. Let's first look at our scans. Looks like we have one called Vero out here up 302%. It has 39 million shares traded on it on Vero. The next one behind it is SVRE up 50%, and then JAGX, and then BIYA. On the non-micros, we have ACCL up 27%, and then behind that TNMG and IBRX. Let's see what's going on with Vero. Vero looking like going to the moon here. I just opened up my chart, so we're sitting here on the edge here. Let's see what the news is. $40 million shares traded, so there's a lot of attention on. Vero is Venus Concept Inc., a medical technology company, develops, commercializes, and delivers minimally invasive and non-invasive medical aesthetic and hair restoration technologies and related services in the United States and internationally. Its product portfolio includes Venus Legacy, a non-invasive device used in dermatological and general surgical procedures for females. Venus Versa, a multi-application. Okay, so this is healthcare and medical devices. They have 292 employees. That's a lot of employees. And this is a Canadian stock. Let me see if it's blocked. Because for a lot of these stocks have been getting blocked, especially starting the Canadian stocks at the beginning of this month. Let me see if it's blocked. Nope, this is a tradable stock on TOS. Vero. Okay. We'll see what that wants to do. 309% leading the day and pushing on up too. Had a high of 619. Looks like it's breaking that 619. Another high there at 634. For a Canadian stock, this one is healthcare and medical devices. Let me notate that. Got a bunch of employees though. Apparently they making some type of money to paying all these people. I have to check the float here in a second. Let's go see what that float is. Okay, so here we have a float of 1.62 million, very low float. Shares outstanding 1.86. Insiders have a less of a holding than the institutions, but neither one of them have a huge holding, but institutions are holding more. Notate that. Okay. So that's the main stock right now, the most obvious stock, most obviously bullish. Behind that we have SVRE. I'm sure I've seen this one before. I think it's an Israeli stock or something. Let me see. SVRE. Only up 38% on this one. Get a little bit of a round trip. Yeah, this is an Israeli stock, so that one. This is not already notated. I think I've seen this one before. I must have deleted the drawing or something. Maybe think my drawings disappear after 30 days or something like that. This is Israeli. Probably not going to be moving greatest. All right, JAGX. Seen that one before. Does not have any catalyst on the day. Does SBRE have catalyst? They do not. PRFX, no catalyst. BIYA, no catalyst. GWAV, no catalyst. So the only thing with catalyst is Vero. Or do they have a catalyst? They have they reported a 91% stake. Somebody, Modern Asset Management, reported a stake of 91% of Venus. So basically, they almost bought the company. So it's a buyout on this. Edit this, and this is a buyout of 91% stake. Stake buyout. Okay. Let's see. JFBR just came up. JFBR just popped on. It's up 40%. It has, this is Jeff Brands. Is this another Israeli one? JFBR. Jeff Brands Limited. Yep, this is another Israeli stock. I'll be careful with this one too. Yeah. Okay. And let me look at some of the non-micros. So we got ACCL out here, TNMG, and IBRX. ACCL, no catalyst. TNMG, no catalyst. IBRX. This one actually has some catalyst. So what is it talking about? This is the earnings. It says update. Immunity Bio expects Q4 2025 net product sales to increase. Shares extend gains pre-market. Advances the first line BCG night. I don't even know what that is. It's not phase 3 or anything like that. Okay. It doesn't have much volume. Even if it does have a catalyst, it doesn't have much volume anyway. This is going to be the main stock for now. Vero up 300. Oh, wait, JFBR is up 100. Oh, this was the Israeli stock. Okay. JFBR continuing to pile up here, 161%. So we have two stocks over 100% on this morning. $4 million shares on JFRB or BR. Euro upside was 634. Looks like I had marked this up previously. Let's look at these daily charts for these 100% movers. All right, so it closed at 143 and gapped all the way up to, okay, I did notate this one before. I gapped all the way up to 5, 4. Man, that thing gapped up a lot. But it's in this gap field back here. Okay. It's a 91% buyout though. Yesterday was a absolute clown fest. It was trades. It was tickers popping up everywhere. I mean, everywhere you look, there was a low float popping up yesterday. Catalyst, no catalyst, semi catalyst, all in between, and it was just popping all around. So yesterday I got steamrolled. I played CBR or whatever it was, CJBM or MB or whatever. Got steamrolled on that. I'm still green on the week, but I definitely gave back some profit on yesterday. Definitely got punched in the mouth, nice and sweet. I'm still green on the week, but I gave back a lot of my profit on the week. Green on the month too. So I didn't try to beat myself up too much. It was a roller coaster. I really just should have been like, okay, attention is spread too much, and that's one of the things I put in my journal. Yesterday, the tension spread too much. Let's kind of chill, you know. But I got sucked in, and yeah, lost a little bit. I still have my goal on the month, but I'm very close to not having that goal on the month. I got to focus back in and really wait till some good catalyst comes through again instead of all of these random pop-ups. I just don't do well in these types of markets with random pop-ups where anything you buy is going up. But, it's just not the way that it's not where I do the best work. I guess because I get in the mindset of a cold market where things are like they need to make sense to make a move. And then all of a sudden, there's one that pops, and then those preceding days, it just is absolute madness. All right, let's go back over here and look at Euro. At a high up here of 634. Has a little range between 634 and 531 that it hasn't really broken out of yet to either side. JFBR making its way on up. It's got 10 million shares traded now. This is an Israeli stock. A lot of times we see these get very choppy. It says Jeff Brand's Keep Zone AI enters into a distribution agreement with advanced vehicle and threat detection systems developer. Okay. They have a or are working on a distribution agreement with that other company. A lot of stuff moving though, man. Mm. This one hit I didn't even look at the daily chart up here, but it hit some kind of daily level and kind of bumped its head up there. I guess that's something I had marked previously at the 154. Yeah. Yeah, over here on the daily chart. These are old because these are still red. These haven't been updated yet, but I had already seen that it was Israeli back then, and I just marked it every day that I saw it. And this is I marked it. This has been a couple of times. So one in December, again in December, again in December, and now here in January. So I always kind of avoid these Israeli stocks. It's better for my health. Bureau pulling down to the bottom side of this around this 531 bottom side of this zone. Gonna see how this plays out. Only 20 cents away from the bottom. $44 million shares traded on this one. They buyout catalyst company came in and bought out 91% of this company. So pretty much they're probably gonna have new ownership, maybe new CEO, maybe they'll leave the staff in place and just own it outright. 91%. I mean, that leaves almost nothing on the table for anyone else. Hey, but yeah, gonna see. Oh, it's rising back up again. So I guess we could have some type of idea of an uptrend here. We'll see how this plays out. So from this 530, low up here. We'll see how that plays out. And can we identify any more that aren't too steep? Not really. This is the most normal looking uptrend that we have. Coming back up here to these highs of $6, still playing within this range. Has this uptrend, and we'll see how it walks up this uptrend here on Vero. 45 million shares traded, up 313%. Good morning, Hebrew. We out here. Yesterday, man, I got steamrolled yesterday. All the stuff that was up, I went with the thing with the most volume, which was CJMB or whatnot, but I just got steamrolled. I did. I gave back a lot of profit. I'm still green on the week, but I just should not. Yesterday should have been a no trade day for sure. I really see that I do the best when things make sense. When if there's too much up, too much competition, there are things with lower volume making big moves and all this stuff. It just gets too spicy too fast. I would have been better off just sticking to EVTV, the EVTV trade, and just stopping, because since the EVTV, there really hasn't been any great news. You know. But I'm still above my goal for the month, so I'm still sitting up pretty good. But I gave back almost to that goal. Like I was like, oh my goodness, come on, man. But we still got 2 weeks to what is it, 2 weeks to trade? Yeah, about 2 weeks to trade. So I'm not down on myself that much, because I know, get back on the horse, play the game, stay consistent. It'll be back. Sitting in your office, having breakfast, nice. Can't even trade right now. I'm on this water just listening in. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so today we just got Israeli stocks, and then we got a buyout. So no real killer news. Maybe something else pops out. But again, I like to see, and I've seen this pattern in my trading, where a lot of times when I see things in pre-market with good news, I do a lot better than them popping up at right before open, or after the open into the intraday, because there's no structure built. But when I can get in place on something that has good news and the structure is there, oh man, that's where I eat. That is where I eat. Okay. Oh, SRB. JFBR, that is really stock going on down. This is going to be another small cap day, seems like. Wish it was still some better catalysts here, maybe some US government contracts or something. But let's go and check the overall news out here. See what we got going while we're waiting. Yep, Hebrew. That's what kind of happened to me yesterday on CJMB. But instead of just buying the top, I bought a dip, but it was a high dip. It had dipped, 2 or 3 legs down, but the problem was the catalyst on yesterday wasn't that strong. And it really didn't give a reason for buyers to step in where I was in it. But yeah, I definitely did not buy high. I just bought it into a dip, and it kept dipping. Okay, so let's see what we got over here. We have nightmare scenario. Nvidia's China woes could risk its lead. Um, Latest news, we got Factbox, international assets and potential buyers. We have Starlink rival, you UTEL or EU Telsat signs deal with Europe's Oh my goodness, they got some weird names. Maya Space to launch satellites. India's Tata Tech has quarterly profit plummet of 96% on one-time labor code charge. Fizz Walter Capital raises buyout bid for UK's auction technology. Why having extra money in retirement is a good problem. Okay, of course, everybody knows that having extra money, period, not just in retirement, is good. Amid ICE raids, some Home Depot investors want to know how law enforcement uses its surveillance data. Okay. Here's this strategist's biggest fear for the markets: gold and silver, Nvidia stocks on track. Okay, so no real standout news I'm seeing. U.S. Taiwan trade deal, what it means for stock and chips, what it means for tech and chip stocks. See about that. See what they're talking about. It's a 4-minute video. Let's see.
And Taiwan have secured a long sought after trade deal that has massive implications for the chip industry. Joining now with the details, we got Yahoo Finance tech editor Dan Howley. Dan, what do you make of it?
Yeah, it's obviously a big deal for Taiwan because they have this kind of albatross off their neck, and a big deal for the U.S. getting more of this kind of onshoring when it comes to semiconductors. Obviously, this has been a big push since the Biden administration kind of began pushing that. They had CHIPS Act, and then the Trump administration kind of continuing this idea of getting more semiconductor capacity here in the U.S. So basically, under the deal's terms, there's going to be direct investment from Taiwanese semiconductor and technology companies. That's of $250 billion. It's going to be new and direct investments. Then Taiwan's going to provide credit guarantees of at least $250 billion to help facilitate additional investments from Taiwanese enterprises. The U.S. tariff rate on Taiwanese goods dropping to 15%. The semiconductor capacity import may be up to 2.5 times more that of planned capacity without paying any Section 232 duty. So basically, these companies will be able to import, export more than previously without having to pay any of those duties. We're talking about this $250 billion, TSMC, the largest semiconductor manufacturer in the world, they're going to be a good part of this, right? I mean, they're going to be building fabs in the U.S. then, additional fabs. They already have fabs in the U.S. They're going to be building more, probably doing more R&D here as well. There was tension originally when they were trying to stand up some of the fabs in Arizona between the workers and the Taiwanese workers, trying to figure out how to kind of mesh the two different kind of cultures. And it seems to have finally worked out. I wonder, though, how much is going to be dedicated to the likes of NVIDIA versus Apple versus, Qualcomm. All these different companies use TSMC. So I think the next question is, at least for us, what gets built here? What chips? And so the focus is clearly on AI, right? And, the idea has always been kind of reshoring U.S. semiconductor capabilities to ensure that if something pops off between China and Taiwan, the U.S. isn't left without much capacity. And so now this shows that, okay, we'll have the capacity. Still obviously an issue for us if China and Taiwan decide to, come to blows. But I think for us more generally, on a calmer kind of footing, is this going to be Apple stuff? Is this going to be NVIDIA stuff? Who's building here?
Let's pause him real quick. So over here, JAGX started popping. It does not have any catalyst, but just started popping here from 90 up to $1. I don't know why. Kind of stepped up there. JFBR still trading within this little range, right above the dollar as well. Euro, we had an idea of an uptrend here, that it continues to kind of walk up, but has not really tested back to it. Previous pivots were at 530 and then 546, right around 550, and now it's higher. So we'll see how it continues to hold this 550 level. But we can see it kind of walking down here, down the, okay, well, it might actually go ahead and break down here. But anyway, let's jump back over to JFBR is about to become number 2 on the day. Yep. So breaking down that trend. So this is how I actually end up playing trends. I will wait till there is a candle that opens below the trend. And like, let's say if this was the 552 was the bottom here on this test down, that will be my new stop. I want to see it hold this trend though. Continue to hold this trend, and this 551 will be the stop. So I will wait for this candle to close in what, 10 seconds, and literally just if it breaks down, cool. I'm in, in somewhere around this trend 560-ish, have an out at 551 and look for a break above 578. Okay. So right now it opened this candle a little bit back up there into the trend. So we will be wanting to see a breakout of 577. But anything's possible. It can go either way. Can go either way here. Up 288%. But I try to look for this in a dip rather than at the top. So this one has made a major move up from 352 all the way up here. This is a $3 move up. I like to buy these types of setups in a dip and look for it to go higher. Okay, so JFBR still doing its thing. JAGX kind of giving back everything that it just popped up. So it popped up to 115 and now it's back down to $1. Right, so it did not break down at 550 yet. It would need to break over 567 at this point to show any kind of strength here. But now, it's getting more and more opens under the trend. Let's see who's speaking today. So for today is the 16th. We have two speakers. One is Vice Chair of speech by Vice Chair for Supervision, Bowman. The title for that speech is Outlook for the Economy and Monetary Policy. And that is at the Outlook 2026 New England Economic Forum in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Then we have another speaker later on in the day, Vice Chair Philip N. Jefferson. The title is Economic Outlook and Monetary Policy Implementation at the American Institute for Economic Research, Shadow Open Market Committee, and Florida Atlantic University Conference in Boca Raton, Florida. Okay. Two speakers on today, one early, one late. All right, back over to Vero. It do a little spike through there, but it's got to close candles above this trend and not use the trend as a downside. Actually, this little wick down here would have stopped me out. That break of that low, I would have been out of there. I'm cool. AFBR has become number 2 on the day with 25 million shares traded, behind Vero. But overall, this has been a pretty good month. This has been a better month than last January. Last January, I got caked. I got caked up. Like, it was bad. Well, actually, before January, December was bad. And now both my December and my January look better than the past 2 years of December and January. So I'm pretty cool. Been playing a little bit of defense. I got a little wild yesterday, but because I had that cushion, it didn't actually kill me. JFBR breaking on down. Has a low here of 112. Has a downtrend idea, but not really a clear uptrend idea. And I don't even know if this is a trend or if it's going to go sideways. Previous low at 111. Not sure what that wants to do, but that's an Israeli stock. Could get a little choppy, a little dangerous. Bureau, we have an idea of a downtrend here. And if it breaks this low of 531, that's gonna break any kind of uptrend. It's gonna invalidate this uptrend. JFBR breaking on down. Yep, broke the low, so that invalidates that uptrend. So we are in a free fall now with no clear uptrend in sight. SVRE, Vero. Yep, so we invalidated that. Remove. And now all we have is a downtrend. Now the thing is, going long, I need an uptrend. Like, I wouldn't just buy a downtrend without any type of higher lows, any type of signaling that there are buyers stepping in, right? So in this point, there will be no buys until I see the uptrend starting to form. They both got the same setup pretty much. ACCL. Okay. So we have hit the top of the hour, 7 o'clock. And okay, Vero popping back up a little bit. Let's see if JFBR is doing the same. I'm not sure. So this is still not proving anything, this little uptick or whatnot, because it made a lower low. So what we would need to see is a higher low than 510 and start to try to test this downtrend. But right now we just don't have that. $64 million shares traded on it. Popped up there. Let's see where it stops. So 513 was the lows. It broke this just a little bit. Is it gonna pull back or is it just gonna go straight up? That was a fast move from 513 all the way back up to 592. Very unpredictable move there on the 1 minute. And now coming all the way back in. So coming right back to the downtrend. Let's see if it comes below 568, 567. And if it does come back into this downtrend, we'll have another idea for a downtrend here. This will be the peak of it at 607. Go ahead and mark that up. So 7. Actually, the next candle hadn't closed. Let's wait till the next candle closes first. They could just pop back up. Give it some time. JFBR tried to do a turnaround, but it is heavily in this downtrend as well. Okay, so there's the pop, and that's why I didn't want to put it in. I want to see this candle close first and make sure that all of this is over. Okay, closed at the top side. Let's see if it gets any pops here. Okay, pop down. Now I want to see it close red to kind of clear up the misjudgment. This thing is going back bullish. So 575 is that weak point right now. We got another one popping up, LCFY. LCFY, it says experience.com expands U.S. partnership with Locify. So this is a partnership catalyst. Partnership catalyst on LCFY. Popped up from 343 up here to 726. Now it only has 2 million shares traded, but it is up 80%. I just saw it add on to the chart there. So we'll see if it can make its way up to 10 million shares traded and maybe start to compete with everything else. But it is a partnership to drive localizer product sales across home services market in 2026. Okay, so a little bit of future casting with this catalyst. Okay, Vero did end up going a little higher, so that is kind of what I was like, okay, this thing may continue going because it hasn't given a signal to go down yet. But it went up here and touched the previous high of 634. We'll see if it is held there. It's going to go ahead and pop through, so that invalidates this downtrend. Remove. Now we just need a higher low just to get some type of uptrend in here. See what the pullback looks like on it. Up 340%. At this point, it is the only one that is consistently holding over 100%. JFBR keeps giving 100% back. It'll come up here, get 100%, and then continues to fade off. Looks like a little bit of a double top at 643 there. See if it blows it. Okay, another high. It's no clear higher lows here. Pumping up. Good morning, Donnell. We're watching Vero. Vero up 359%. The catalyst on it is it's a buyout. One company came in and bought 91% stake in Venus or Vero. So they're pretty much new ownership, and we don't really know what's going to come from that. Are they going to go in there and just start firing people and replacing people? Are they going to leave the current staff in place and just just be the kind of like the new existing owners without messing with the business too much? 681 up there though. 70 million shares traded on this. JFBR continued to fall, making another lower high. So again, no uptrend. So how can you go long if you don't even have an uptrend? This one back here, this was one it broke down and completely engulfed this previous sell-off. And I guess you could call that an engulfing candle. I guess it would be. So see where it goes from there. LCFY continued to go down, pretty much a round trip. Went from $3.50 up here to $7.26 and all the way back down now. This thing is just in a wide open gap. That's pretty much where it's trading. It's like this big old gap on the daily chart right here. Between $7 and 465. It's just in this gap trading. It just went up there to, well, it's over 625 right there, but yeah, definitely a little nastier chart than expected on the daily chart for Vero. Overall market, let's look at that chart. So on the overall market, we have about, it's going pretty sideways today. Had a big fall off on, what was this, Wednesday? Nice little sell off, and recovered the whole thing on Thursday. And now we're trading right back in kind of like a flat range here on Friday. So, yep, every sell off gets bought up, seems like. Vero coming on down. 590 back into this level that it previously sold off to. This would be a higher low at the 578, but it's kind of steep here. Don't know if they can continue this type of uptrend. We'll see where it comes down to. That is definitely, I would consider, a higher low into this. We need to see where this candle closes up. If it can break a high up here. JFBR continues to slowly walk down the charts under $1. And LCFY went all the way back where it started, down to 337s on that partnership news. It was up 80%, now it's only up 18%. AFBR came down to 95 cents. Your uptrend there. So 575 build up a little bit. See if it continues to hold it or if it wants to break down some more. High of this will be 595. So basically it's right, that $6 level is that level that is giving it all the problems. Break this high for us to see any kind of uptrend here. Break back over 590s. YA catalyst. broke a lower level there. Previous level was 578 and then broke to the 575s. Looking a little weak here. Okay. Still a higher low. Idea here. Continue. Not sure if that's the actual trend. This candle hasn't closed yet. Plus, there's no clear downtrend. It's kind of just been a steep downtrend. It is a higher low here. Candle closes in about 30 seconds. Let me refresh our news over here and see if we got any new latest news. China-led cross-border digital currency platform sees surge. That's much it. The next news that came out. $5.75 really is some type of struggle point here. Up 302%, 86 million shares traded. It has double what the number 2 has in volume. So I guess the longs will be looking for a break over 582. See if it can actually hold this idea of uptrend, break over 582. There's a little push up to it. Can it get a break? And this is where they enter. We can actually see the volume coming in there, entering there, but the stop would be the bottom, what, 560? We need to hold up 560. That would be a 20-cent risk there. So this is the idea of the uptrend. See where that ends up going. Okay, so you'll just be looking for a higher low than 572. Pushing right back down to that. Because you'll still be safe with that stop out at the last pivot point of the 561. But you'll need to see a break of this top side 595. We'll show green again over the 580s. Right. Green, a breakout level back over the 90s. See if they re-enter here. So it's just riding that uptrend, looking for a breakout. this point, we definitely don't want to see it crashing back through 575s. See a push out, up, push through 6, up through 6. New candle about to open. Got a nice little area of stoppage out down here, and you could just be trailing up with this uptrend. This point it'd be 575. You wouldn't want to see it back under. Where this one closes. Out of 615, getting a little bit of a downtrend. First one that we're kind of seeing where it's hitting a little wall up here at the 615. This is an idea. Well, it hadn't closed yet. Okay, let it play. It may need to go a little bit more. Stopping right there at that whole dollar level though, that's not a good sign. People gonna get nervous. Previous stop would be the 575, and then if it can break highs up here of the 603, might just stop everybody out at that 575. Good morning, AJ. I'm watching Vero. Okay, so it did not stop at the 575. Let's see this candle close. Point next one would be what, 579, or you would gain 4 cents on that stop to follow it up. You're in Vero at 5. Nice. It came down there 513 and in a pretty good ride here. The catalyst was it was a buyout, other company coming in and buying them out. 607 there. So we had to see the break of lows to confirm this is a downtrend, or a break of highs to confirm that it still wants to go higher. Popping up there, highs of 614. Still holding up this trend. At this point, the trailing stop would just be following the trend. So what, 590? 590. Let's see where it ends up closing. Top side of this is 629. Yeah, well, if it's consolidating, it will break down this uptrend and consolidate back into the zone, but it hasn't done that yet. It's kind of just following this trend upward. Now we have a lower level here, graded, closing up below the 628. So this is our first downward side deal. Let's see if we can see any red here. And which side will it choose to break? The low side, where you're following the trend up, your out will be somewhere around 6, or will it go through the high side? Will it be able to hold this up and go back through the high side up here? It's right around 6 right now. Try again to go higher. Opening right on that trend. Exit to the high side is up here at 619, back over 620 basically. There's 615. Let's see what that test does. So it's literally just riding this trend here. I wouldn't consider it consolidation till it breaks it down. Hasn't chosen to do that yet. There's a pump up to the previous level that was the idea of a downtrend. This is third test at this. Let's see if it breaks over that 630, or if it actually respects that downtrend. Okay. Again, right, rolling up the trend. This point, what, 6 is still there. Pushing through. Will it disrespect all of this and blow through? No, this trade right here, or this ticker right here, the catalyst kept me out of this one. I don't really have any data on doing buyouts, buying behind buyouts, companies coming in and buying people up. I'm not sure that I like the catalyst. I was looking at it because it is the top volume mover on the day. It has 92 million shares traded out of pre-market. Nothing else even comes close. So I was like, the number 2 was JFBR, which is this Israeli stock that has come back up here to this downtrend that we were watching. But yeah, Israeli stocks, and then behind that one, another Israeli stock, SVRE. We got JAGX. So I'm just like, you just see what's going on in pre-market. Is me coming and bringing my money over here, is it worth it today? Is what I'm trying to taste test here. And I don't like to taste test by putting money in the market to see if it's worth it by getting red. I'd rather see the structure, see all of that stuff, and then put my money in. Because, a lot of times when I was kind of starting trading, I'd be like, man, let me just taste test the market. Now I'll add to a trade. It'll go a little red. I'll be like, you know what? I'm in small. It doesn't matter. I'll just add a little bit more. I'll add, and then we'll get some kind of big move up or down. Maybe it goes well, maybe it doesn't. But, just taste testing without true structure, it doesn't make sense to me. But now it is right up here on this downtrend. It's got to make a decision now. It's between a rock and a hard place on Vero. Rock and a hard place right at this central X area. Is it gonna go up or down from here? Down would be respecting that downtrend. Up would have been continuing to hold that uptrend. But it looks like down it is. Man, I remember, bro. I used to take like 100, 200 trades, and I'd be like, man, let me just, and the thing is, I was taking individual trades. So when your bank account or your not your bank account, your statements come back for your trades. Like right now, if you go to my info or whatever, it'll show that I have a bunch of transactions, but not a lot of trades. Because a lot of times when I get into a good trade, I'm taking profit as it's moving up, and so I'm taking some, taking some, taking some. If I find a dip and I'm still in the position, I'll add some, take some, take some. So my transactions may be a lot, but my actual trade isn't canceled out until it hits zero holdings. So I'll take a good amount of profits as it's moving up with me. Vero did end up respecting this downtrend. And the previous lows were at 516 and 563. So now the question is, will it respect either one of these pivot points at 566 or 514? And that's the next question. And so far, if it makes another high under this downtrend, that will invalidate this uptrend right here. So if it makes a high but fails to break this downtrend, that will invalidate this uptrend. Let's see. JFBR still up 120%. Israeli stock. It's got a partnership type agreement. Not partnership, distribution agreement. AAGX. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, all of this stuff. Okay. Well, it looks like my time. I'm about to get ready for my morning meeting. I have not found anything to trade. I'm probably just going to chill today. I'm green on the month, green on the week. I did give back. I got steamrolled a little bit yesterday on CJMB. It took quite a bit of my profit on the week, but I'm still green on the week. And so I'm just kind of laying back. I'm seeing that this market is not the type of market that I do well in. I like reasoning and all of that, but we've been seeing a lot of just irrational moves, just pops up and just making no sense why they're up, and they're just going up. So I'm waiting for it to kind of calm down, where the thinkers come back out to play, and those are the markets that I do the best in. So these types that just be out here, in the streets dancing, no reasoning, that's where I get sawed up. But I want to make this January better than last January. It's already better, actually. And so I'm kind of just in defensive mode of protecting the profits that I have this month, and looking to collect a couple more winnings into the end of the month as things kind of slow back down into the true earnings season or earnings months of February, January, February, March, April. Before tax season, a lot of earnings come out. So we'll see what kind of plays come off of that. Vero continued to respect that downtrend, hasn't made any new highs. That last pivot level was at 562, and then the next one is all the way down here to 515. So if it does fall through, it does have quite a bit of space to fill on this fall. So I'll be kind of careful of that fall there to that next level. That's what 572 down to 515. That's a 60-cent fall there. JFBR blew up. So we had this downtrend. We had an idea of some type of uptrend here. And then it made another one outside of this previous downtrend. So that's another idea here. And we'll see how that ends up playing. It had this level. It came up and hit at 154 earlier. Hit a top here of 145, but hasn't closed yet, so I don't know how much further JFBR can go with this. Israeli stock, so I'll be careful on that one. They got a distribution agreement on them for a catalyst. And then let me see who else. Anybody else out here playing? LCFY. This is the one that went all the way from set. So this one went from $3.40 up here to $7.26. Fell from 726 all the way down here to $2.95. So a $5 fall, and then a kind of like a dead cat bounce in here back up to 463. This was a partnership catalyst on Locify. And all of these that I'm looking at have been micro floats, because the non-micros, they're not even in the competition. Non-micros, The highest volume out here is 18 million shares. Then we got 16 million, 10 million, and that means nothing to these micros up here that have 93 million, 55 million, 32 million. These are stepping on the necks of the higher flows. So I'm thinking today is a smaller cap day. Localfi continues to pump up here from 726 down here to 2, and then back up here to 536 on Localfi. JFBR is restricted on TOS. Yeah. Is that the Israeli side? Yep. Okay. Where was I? LCFY pumping on back up here from those highs of the 726. I don't know why it's getting that much of a pump from $2. That's a what, $3 move almost from 2 to 5. Coming all the way back through. So watch out for that one. It has 7 million shares traded, not quite 10 million yet, but it looks like it's going to be a competitor on the day. It's up 80, right around 80%, 75% now. So yeah, definitely some to keep on watch. Vero did make a new high here, but it made a new high within this downtrend. So I'm thinking this downtrend is being respected, and that will invalidate. We need to see some breaks of some lows, but that will invalidate this uptrend up here. I will remove that and watch it to continue this downtrend. JFBR didn't go too much higher. We have a couple of ideas of uptrends. Then LCFY pulling back now. Very, very weird trading though on this one. All right, y'all. Well, I'm about to jump out of here. Like I said, I'm probably going to chill on today as far as trading. I might go and do some dividend investing, but yeah, that's pretty much it. The dividends are always a blessing to have on the back end. They fill up accounts, and you know, it's definitely just good to have a portfolio and use all of your available resources. You know, if it's not a trading day, all right, let me go see what the dividends are doing. Let me go see what I can make shake, and see how much. Last year, I think my dividends, the whole account in general grew 16%. And it was paying me the whole last year, and so I'm going to see if I can get another 16% out of the market or more. I don't know. But I'm just buying. I got scanners that look out into the market and go and get those. But I mean, overall, if that account that I'm not touching is growing 16% per year, I'm like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You know, that's definitely beating inflation, and that's where I want to be. Vero continue to pump down there, but yeah, I'm about to jump out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and as always, I will see y'all in the next one. Pre-market on, wait, no, Monday is a holiday. Monday is a holiday, so pre-market on Tuesday. Y'all then. Peace.